I'm the owner of Field LLC, and I'm going to talk with you about what this company is about, what we do, what we look to make, and it's going to help give you a better direction of where we're going. You can figure out if you align with this, and maybe you do, but let's get to it. Everyone is a salesperson. That's our first thing. You all have your specific job descriptions and the things in there, and you already should know about what is associated with that. However, I run this just like the Marines do. Every Marine knows how to shoot. They're the best shot. Sales is the fundamental. That is the grassroots. It's the bottom. It's the most important of every business. And you've been selling your whole life. You've been trying to get your parents to buy you a toy. You've been trying to get somebody to date you. You've been trying to buy a car. Even if you're buying the car, you still got to sell the guy to give it to you at the price you want it at. Um, you've been, maybe you got a gym membership. Maybe you sent some resumes out to this company. And I mean, that is a huge selling point. We're determining, are you gonna call us to see if you're gonna get a call back about a job interview? Are you gonna send some text if we don't answer? Are you gonna send an email? How dedicated are you? If we gave you a hard assignment to get this job, uh, how long did you work on it to do it? I mean, was it hard? Sometimes when I'm first starting out with you, I'm assigning harder jobs to see what you're made of. And sales is sales. If like say you're cleaning one of the Airbnbs, do you have the ability to put everything in the spot that it's supposed to go to the best of abilities? So that way somebody comes back and rents that room again. So sales, we you got to have them to stay in business, and everybody needs to be able to sell in a very effective manner with whatever it is they have to sell, whatever their product is. In our case, it's usually new houses. It is that's that's our product, and we need customers to buy them, and we need those customers to like us and buy more stuff. And by them buying stuff, we are putting them in a position to do the best thing they possibly can with their money. We might be asking for $300,000, maybe 500, maybe a million, and it's really about the best place I think they can spend their money. If they were going to spend it with somebody else, so might as well have been with us. Um, Sales, I can't talk enough about it. No, we need you to be able to do it. Need you to be good at it, and how you talk, how you look, how you dress, what car you drive, all that stuff is what I mean when I'm talking about being good at what you do. Everybody's got to be neat. They've got to be organized. We need neat, organized, clean, safe job sites everywhere we go. Whatever you're doing, I want it to be very clean, very organized. And I'm going to be looking at your spreadsheets. Almost all of our spreadsheets are pre-made, but I'm going to be looking to see if the information you entered in there is clean, neat, concise. Everybody knows what it means. Your expanding folder, it's already drawn out how to organize that. Um, so it ability to follow the systems. Um, we want to document and we want to record everything. So all expenses, how long things took, your time for that job, all that stuff comes into play when it comes to estimating and pricing customers out for future work, for past work. Everything's got to be very clean and well documented. We're going to do things in a manner that if you need to take a day off, somebody else can do the work real fast. They can just open it up, pull your files up. This is what we need to pick up with, and here's all the notes. We're growth oriented. We're going to grow every day. There's going to be the company today, and the company next year. The company next year is going to be bigger. Well, I'll make sure of it. We're going to be a continuously growing company. The quality of the work that you do, it's a reflection of you. And, I'm evaluating that. The other people in management, they're evaluating it. We need to see that your work is continuously getting better, cleaner, faster, and your confidence is going to go very high when you do this. When you're doing better work every single day, every single time, you're going to get very confident in your ability to come up with solutions and to come up with quality products. There's no limits to what we can do. I mean, I'm fine with building 40 homes a month. We're not there right now, but I think we can be. And with these systems in place that we're going to have and that we already have, it's putting this company in a position to where things can grow very fast. And I'm looking for ambitious people, people who are looking to grow. We might have hired you for one position, but you might be moving up into executive level if you work hard. There is that opportunity. I'm looking for those kinds of people. I'm looking for people who are maybe not the biggest right now, but looking to become bigger. Um, we're always looking to do something more challenging. I mean, hotels, skyscrapers, mansions, subdivisions. If it's hard to build, we need it. Right now, I got a job. Two other people quit on the job because it was too hard. Two other people, just like this company. They had a $2 or $3 million house, and they quit. I'm showing up there, and we're picking up where the other person left off. I don't know why they couldn't just get through it, but um, there's a lot of opportunities when we take the hard stuff that nobody else is willing to do. You get some big, big opportunities. Okay, everybody's going to have a defined job, but it is a growing company, so those responsibilities they're going to evolve. It's a kind of like a fluid job description. Uh, and we do have things where they kind of move around, but we do try to keep you in a semi-defined space. We do expect excellence. We always want to talk about what we can do. Yeah, so tell people what you can do. Nobody wants to hear what you can't do. We want to hear about what you can do, regardless of the perceived limitations. If we build the biggest building in town, next year we're going to try to build a bigger building. We want everything on a documented system and how to do it. That's going to help the future generation of employees. It's going to help make it to where next time instead of taking 6 weeks to boot up to get understand the company, now they can do it in 2 weeks. That's a lot better situation. Now, this isn't a factory, but we try to run it like the effectiveness of a factory, like an assembly line. One person, installs the roof, then the plumbing comes in, and then the flooring can go in, and the sheetrock can go in. We want this company, we don't want mysteries out there. We want sheetrock takes 6 days, it costs 10,000. Plumbing costs this long. First phase costs 5,000. We want very defined, identical, repeatable, duplicatable procedures and results for how we're going to do everything so that it's clear. Because in construction, sometimes they're asking us to estimate prices on $500,000 and they want it within $1,000. Really, really not narrow margins. So we need to properly document things, do it the same way every single time until we have this down to a perfect science. And then we just hit the copy and paste button. And now we're building 50 houses a month. That's where we're going. The systems aren't perfect yet. So if you see something doesn't make sense, you can let me know about it. Let somebody else let me know about it. I personally want to know about it. So if a system, most of these systems I made. So I understand there can be things that are not optimal. We set them up so that they're optimal about 95% of the time. And that's what we try to cater to is the majority of the time. But if there are times when something doesn't make sense, it looks like a typo, looks like something got out of order, you let me know about it. I will be taking a look at it to see how we can improve it. I am open to suggestions like that. And then there might be something where, you look at it, we talk about it, and then I'm like, oh, you might have missed step three when that's or you didn't have access to a checklist on accident, and so it's like that problem came up because this checklist wasn't available yet, or you might just find something where hey, we need to make a checklist for this. The more you train, the less you bleed. We got about 55 hours of video training currently, and we would much rather you learn and watch the videos. It's a lot better to read a book about somebody's 20 years experience than it is to get 20 years experience. And it's much easier to do the study, the research. I would rather you fail on paper than do something incorrectly. Now, I do understand when you're working, things can come up that are just going to be an accident, but the more we can train, the less of those accidents we can have, the more checklists we can have. Every pilot, every doctor, they all have checklists. Very smart people. You know, pilots flying 300, 400 passengers, long ways, 30,000 feet in the air. They have to have a checklist. We're asking customers to give us 500,000 bucks sometimes. We need to be responsible with the money they've given us. We need to be responsible with the hours we charge them, and specifically that you charge them. Um, so we want to just train hard, so that we don't have to pay for rework. We don't want any. We want jobs done right the first time, and if they're not done the first time right, we need to get somebody back in there and get it done by the second time. Get in, get it done right, and get out. That's how construction works. We can't hang out all day. There's monthly payments on these properties. It's about 50 to 100 bucks a day, and just in sitting. Saturday and Sunday cost that much too. So do the holidays. So we got to get these projects done. We got to get out. Oh, we prefer employees to do work that they love to do as much as we can. We think you're better when you love what you do. About 20% of the time, though, we all got to do stuff we don't like to, and that's just how it works. Most of the time, you have to do something you don't like to. It's when you got off the checklist or you didn't enforce the checklist. So if a subcontractor comes in and does something that should have been done, but they didn't do it for, I don't know, maybe they had 20 years experience and they've never done it that way. Seems like I get that about twice a day. But if they don't do it, you got to do it. And then, it's hard to do that. So we want to make sure that you're doing the work you enjoy. And by following the checklist, I think you're going to enjoy the work a lot more, because you're going to only be doing your work. So let's jump on here to what we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to be the best person they can be. That is absolutely a fact. Somebody who's a go-getter, looking to find what needs to be done without having to be told what to do. Someone who takes care of themselves. Like, you need to be eating right. You need to be working out. You need to be filling your brain with positivity and good information. That's just the bottom line. We're looking for people who do that naturally without us having to tell them. Somebody's toothpick skinny, they need to go to the gym. Somebody's overweight, they need to go to the gym. They need to start eating right. Um, if somebody, we're looking for people who are doing that stuff on their own. Like, if you got to pick between, you know, the people that are eating healthy, they're fit, they're really positive, they're really upbeat, and somebody else, who are you going to pick? I mean, we all know who you're going to pick. And, that's part of selling. You got to sell yourself on everything you do. We're looking for leaders. Everybody's got to be a leader. I don't care what your position is. You need to lead in that position somehow. You can read through our handbook and get a better idea of what we expect out of you. Salesmanship, you're always trying to sell something. Trying to sell your mom on giving you a bottle of milk. It's just a good skill to have. Everybody needs to have this. Showmanship. Can you present whatever the product is in the best light? Um, are you can you do it, and how to do it? That we're looking for these things to naturally be inside of you. Courtesy. My goodness. I mean, everybody needs to have some courtesy. They need to think about what they're doing and how it affects other people. Not only with how they drive, but also on the job site. Like, are 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 you cleaning? Is your job site clean, or is it dirty for the next subcontractor to come in there? So are you a courteous person? Are you intelligent? Can you think on your feet? We just need you to be as intelligent as what your job requires for. We don't mind any extra intelligence, but we need you to be able to think on your feet for the position you've been assigned to. Coincise. I don't have much time. I need you to get to the point. Yeah. If I don't know why you're calling me in the first 30 seconds, um, there's not much I can do. I, Sometimes that's all you get with me is a 30-second phone call. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. Sometimes at most it's about 20 minutes. I need you, hey, look, this is it. It's going to cost this much to fix it. I got 3 people who can do it. You want me to do it or not? Real simple. Just, I need to know how much it costs, what the problem is, how you plan to fix it. And then I can quickly tell you yes, no, or do it. And after a few times, you won't even be calling me about these things because you'll know what I've got to say. I try to give you the same answer back. Um, I want I try to be very stable in how I answer things and how I react on things, so you know what to expect. So that way, when you're on the phone and they're like, "Well, let me talk to the other guy," you already know what I'm going to say. Don't give my number to the subcontractors. I don't want to talk to them. Um, don't give my phone number to the suppliers. I don't want to talk to them. They'll try to. They'll try to get around you to get to me. No, don't let that happen. That's everybody. Um, that's all these guys. I want you to be the decision maker, and I want you to be able to give me really coincise. Like I want it to be where if you told me what's going on out there, I don't even need to go out there because I can trust your judgment is what it needs to be. Our handbook also explains how to handle several situations that are pretty standard. A grit, of course, it all depends on what your job description is. Right now, we've only got people in the field for at the most 3 hours. Like the rest of the times at their house in their remote position. So, um, but it's hot, it's cold, it's rainy, it's sleeting, it's snowing. Uh, we're the ones who build the civilization, so I need you to be I need you to be tough when it comes to this. When it's 95 degrees outside and you got to show up to see if everything got delivered, you can show up earlier in the day, you can show up later in the day. You don't have to show up in the heat of the day. But we need people who can get their job done for what the position they've applied for. We need that job done, and we need to make sure that you have enough grit to do that job. Mission oriented, do just the task. Like do just what's at hand and get out of there. That's we just need you to stay on the task, stay away from the other stuff, focus on the task, focus on the checklist, look around to see anything that might have been slipped, should have been on the checklist but wasn't on there, and then get out. Um, you know, Customers don't want you running up the hours on it, and just stay very focused, mission oriented, think focused, precise. You know exactly what you need to do. You show up, you get it done, you get out. And that's the way we run the job sites. It's really the only way we can run them profitably is if you're very focused on what the mission is. And I made this video so you got a pretty good idea of where the company's going as a whole, what the direction is going to be.